Hi, my name is Shannon McLeod, and in my screencast, I'm going to be talking about our changing world in education. We always hear so much about Scandinavian countries and their educational system, and Finland is one great example. It was thought-provoking to read about how Finland is shaking up their educational approach to meet the technical demands that are placed on schools today. It was interesting to read the quote in the article by Penny Spiller. Finland has long been renowned for the quality of its education and always scores highly in international league tables. Now it is rethinking how it teaches in the digital age, seeking to place skills as much as subjects at the heart of what it does. But not everyone is happy, and there are fears it could bring down standards. It got me thinking about this question. How can we ensure that our students are keeping up with the skills required in the digital age, but they're still meeting the curricular expectations that are set out for us to teach? I was talking to a teacher from another school, and she spoke to me about project-based learning and that her school is using this approach to teaching. This got me reflecting on my own teaching practice. I love the idea that students identify questions they have and any areas of interest, and then projects are developed based on finding the answers to their curiosities. It's important to teach kids how to think critically and to ask questions. These are essential skills in our world today. Students need to be engaged in the learning, and the only way they will do this is by making learning fun and meaningful. An interesting point that was brought up in the article by Penny Spiller was the fact that project-based learning is great for those students that need the challenge and can guide their own thinking. However, the less abled students will still need the support. Will this cause the gap to get larger between these two groups of students? I thought that was a very interesting point. This is a struggle I confront in my classroom, but in my opinion, I think the gap won't get any larger. I love the thought of this approach to teaching because it allows me to challenge those kids that need it. And for those kids that struggle, they have online tools that they can use, and they still have the classroom and teacher supports that they require. But the high flyers are no longer bored at school because now they are being challenged. They can work at the level they are comfortable with. At my current school, collaboration is huge. And this is where it becomes increasingly important to talk to those teachers around you about what they are doing in their classrooms. It's important to bounce ideas off of each other and to help support each other through this shift in our teaching profession. Together, we can ensure that the gap doesn't get any larger between the kids, and that, in fact, that we start to see substantial growth in all the kids with this approach because we are doing it properly, and the kids are learning about things that actually matter to them. Technology is all around us. Some examples include Netflix, Google TV, YouTube. There's kids have their own email. There's Reddit, Facebook, MySpace, Flickr, Pinterest, Twitter, some other examples. Kids have access to smartphones, text messaging, video games, e-readers, laptops, the iPad. They can write their own blogs. We can't stop kids from using the internet to find information. In fact, I think the internet is an amazing way to access a wealth of information, but we need to teach kids to be smart with technology. They can't believe everything they read on the internet, and we need to teach them to be critical with what they read. One site I'll often talk about with my students is Wikipedia, because this is always at the top of the search engine when they're looking for information. It's important to teach them that anyone can go on Wikipedia and insert any information. So teaching kids to be critical of information and to make sure that they check multiple sources before believing one to be true is super important. We can't have our children leaving the school system without the necessary skills to be successful in our society, and technology is an essential part of our lives now. The thought of this might overwhelm some teachers. However, the technology shouldn't change the good teaching that we're already doing in our classrooms. All it is, it's an added tool used to enhance each child's learning experience. It's important that you don't use technology just to use it, that you're using it to support the teaching you're already doing, and making sure that technology is a natural fit into your teaching. It should never be forced. The biggest thing we need to remember is that kids love technology. Anytime, I know in my classroom, when I engage them in technology, they are all on board. We need to utilize this and get them excited about school. The TED video that I watched talked about how our public education is changing because our society is changing. It was interesting to hear about the overdiagnosis of ADHD. Kids are overstimulated nowadays, and our more traditional teaching methods expect kids to just sit and listen, but they're bored. So their inability to focus is often diagnosed as ADHD, and then they're given medication even though they might not have ADHD. We have so many tools to engage kids, and just like we expect our kids to think in different ways, we need to start thinking about teaching in different ways as well. Here are my references, and thank you so much for watching.